Hey people, hello, how's it going? Did you know about the song from The Puppet? Isn't that crazy? I'm actually probably gonna be recording one of these when I go out today. But I want to talk about how like the US is actually going backwards when it comes to like trans rights. Not only trans rights, even like dressing up. And it's a bit crazy because like I've seen news coming from Ohio literally a couple days ago, and it was talking about, actually it was yesterday, and it was talking about how the state of Ohio is now going to ban people dressing up from like for things from different genders. For example, there's like cross-dressing laws back in the day, like way back in like the 60s or something, maybe like 50s. So women, actually this is where feminism came in also. Women were not allowed to wear pants in public because those were seen just like men clothes, and men should be wearing pants and women should cover their legs because it turns some men on. And that was pretty much the solution: stop women from wearing pants and stop men from cross-dressing. Yeah, cross-dressing is the word. But apparently, Ohio wants to bring this again with a modern twist, so-called modern twist, and they want to pretty much ban cross-dressing in the literal form, meaning I don't know if they're going to be banning women from wearing jeans. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be doing this because it's like everyone wears jeans now. Women are just used to wearing pants, even though like pants are pretty much a man thing. If we look back in time, heels are actually were men clothes, and women now just wear heels, and men cannot. And back to the story. So Ohio wants to attack, I think, anything that is not binary or set by the God, Jesus fucking Christ. And yeah, this fucking religion situation in the United States now is getting out of hand because you have like a whole bunch of people in Ohio who are against this, but you still have the state trying to legislate stuff like this. And what they're going to be doing is pretty much hunting down the idea of freedom, because if you cannot wear whatever you want, so where is the land of the free then? Like, what's the point of claiming freedom in the United States if states are literally right now banning men from wearing skirts and banning women from wearing, I don't know, like hockey shirts or hockey jerseys, or I don't know, like flannel lumberjack shirt, which will be like a very clear marker, right? So men who are, male and cis men will not be allowed to probably wear like, and this is where it's very vague, because here's the deal. The country where I was born, in Kuwait, they have this law, right? So they have this, they call it public indecency law. And they're not going to be like saying you cannot wear X and Y. What they're going to say is it's up for interpretation by the police officer. So if you're a police officer and you're like, you know what? I do not like this guy right here, or I do not like this girl right here. Like where do you really put the limit? Like, is the limit wearing a garment that's not made for you, or is the limit when the police officer starts feeling aroused or feeling like, ooh, I thought this was a girl, but now it's a guy. I have now to go stop it because I thought it was a guy. But then if it's too tight, if it's showing too much, and this becomes like just open for interpretation by anyone who's in the police force. And we already have problems with the police force. Like they just go and profile people. And now they're going to be profiling trans people a little bit more. So if you think about trans women like being targeted because of bathrooms or because of sports, that was just like a cover up. That's just like, let's start somewhere and get people's sympathy. And once you get some people's sympathy when it comes to this, and you start calling it mental illness, then the door is open. You can go and like attack and do whatever you want. Nazi Germany was very Christian, and Nazi Germany did not allow people to express themselves in any way different than the Christian way, which, going back to Christianity, Christianity is not American, Christianity is not European, Christianity is not German, Christianity was made by someone who probably looks like me. someone in the Middle East, someone in the Fertile Crescent. That was literally where Christianity was born. That's where Islam was born. That's where Judaism was born. All those stories are the same. I mean, to see that the West is claiming that this is our culture and we're banning new things to affect our culture, this is not even your culture. This is a brown person who created a religion, and there are other brown people who followed this person, and then some white people in Rome took it and put a little twist on it and called it theirs. That's what Christianity is. Know your history. So for me, a person who actually came from that area of the world, to see this religion being interpreted, the way people want and like, and it's being used as a tool to attack people, is a bit problematic, because now it's not even about trans people. Now it's about what can be and cannot be done in relation to this religion, or what we interpret from the religion, because the religion doesn't say that you can actually, like, if you want to follow religion and Christianity, for those of you who do not know, you cannot mix different garments under Christianity. That's a sin. So you cannot mix cotton with polyester. Do you see the hypocrisy right now? And what I'm seeing here is just another representation of what the Arab world has been going through for the past, I don't know, like couple centuries. Because the Arabic world, like, I think in the year 1400 or 1200 or something, had this golden age in literally Babylon, where there's like Persia plus Arabia got together. And I think Babylon, what's the capital of Iraq? Babylonia? Starts with a B. Baghdad. Baghdad was actually the capital of science back in the day, in like the 11th century. Today's Baghdad is not a good place to. Depends. Don't go if you're a woman. Don't go if you're a woman alone. Don't go if you're a woman with your boyfriend alone, because the men there don't care if you have a boyfriend. Honestly. So what I want to state here is that America now is kind of going back and closing itself onto religion, and its interpretation is actually changing to fit what they want and what they like. And this is what the Muslims did and what the Jews did in the same way, right? There are some things, sure, but like no one takes those religions literally. Like in Islam, the book says, beat your wife if she's misbehaving, she doesn't listen. Literally beat. And whenever I tell a Muslim about this, they complain like, oh, it wasn't meant literally. I'm like, okay, if this was not meant literally, then the whole book was not meant literally. So everything here is just a story, and we should not really listen and follow this book. But then you get to Christianity, it's the same thing. Christianity says women should not be talking in churches. And you have women literally preaching. Like there's this blonde woman who was like talking in tongues in the United States, and she was like blessing Donald Trump a couple of days ago. I was like, how can you follow this book, just deciding things that you like to follow and then avoiding everything else that's telling you? You're not supposed to be here. You're not even supposed to be in this position. You're supposed to be quiet and cooking and making babies as a woman. So it's a bit mind-boggling to see how, like, religion now, it's not even about religion anymore. Like most of the people here in Spain, it's not really about religion that they're in the church or they're attending all these ceremonies. All they're doing is coming here, looking at things because other people like them do the same thing. So now your friends do it, your girlfriends are doing it, your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, and you don't want to, be different than your family, and you love your family, and eventually you do what they do and you follow them, and then that becomes you, and then you just send it again into your kids and grandkids. And this is why I don't want to have kids. Like, what's the whole point? I already kind of figured out myself. I made peace. I solved my family issues and traumas, the generational problems, and now I feel like game over. I finished it. Now I can just, like I finished GTA assignments and I have all the money. I can just drive around, buy all these cool houses, and do, fun things. That's it. Like, I don't think like there's another more reason and purpose for this. But I like this part. Christian band, by the way. Flyleaf is a Christian band. I did not know about this. It's crazy because she's singing about Christ. I'm still gonna listen to her. Like I like Christian music for the music part, not for the lyrics part. Back to the topic at hand. I think that this cross-dressing rule that like Ohio's trying to pass is bad news. Really, 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 really bad news, and it's gonna hurt a lot of people because now it's not even about like transgenders. Now it's about who is normal and who is a mentally ill person. Because everyone who's not God's follower is gonna be a mentally ill person, and they should not be listened to, and they should be ignored, and actually they should be punished for their choices. I guess their beliefs. Can you say this? But it's a bit hectic to see this happening in Ohio, where I live. And then you also have this whole issue with gasoline and the war and the prices. And I don't even see how this drill, baby drill, which is a dumbass thing to say, is saving America right now. Like the United States is like in parts in the United States right now, gasoline is $5 a gallon, and you have to drive to go to work. This is not Spain. I'm in Spain. I don't need a car. I walk everywhere. I walk to the supermarket. I'm gonna walk to H&M. I'm gonna go return whatever I got. I'm gonna walk to the park, and I'm gonna walk to the restaurant, and I'm gonna walk and walk and walk and walk and walk. And I like it because it's healthy. And this is where my intuition came in and kicked in and was like, you know what? I don't want to be living in a country where oil is a very big part of life. And Kuwait was pretty much designed by America, like the United States. So for me, when I went to California, I was like, oh shoot, this is him. I needed to go. I needed to leave. So I went to Ohio where my uncle was living. But I avoided my uncle because I wanted to be free. But I actually did not even know about political parties. Isn't this sad? Like when I was a teenager, when I was like 14 or 12, when I found out like rock and roll and metal, I did not know there was like a right wing and a left wing. I did not know there was like different political parties, because in Kuwait everyone is religious and everyone follows the same religion. So there are no choices. There's one choice, which is right wing. And this is why like the Middle East loves Trump. The Middle East loves Bush Jr. The Middle East loves the right wing governments when they run the United States. And they do not like it when Obama or Joe Biden were running the United States, because those were also, creating movies that are gender free and gender equal. And then they're pretty much following religion, where women should succumb and listen to men and follow the orders. You cannot tell women they can do whatever they want. You cannot tell women they can just go to work and not be mothers. You cannot just make abortion legal and birth control is just like free. They don't want you to have this because their religions do not want you to have this. Crazy. So, Kuwait is very similar to the United States. A lot of oil, lots of cars. Like when I was in Kuwait, most people had Mustangs, Corvettes, Chevrolet, like Ford, GM, Cadillacs. Not many German engineered, like you can find like Mercedes and stuff, but like the whole country was obsessed with this big, and I love this also. Sorry. Touch. So muscle cars were a big thing in Kuwait. Everyone had a muscle car, or they had a car and a muscle car. But then also, the market was not really saturated at the time when I was like 10. So that was like 2004. And that was when I was getting into a bit more of like Underoath, metal, and stuff. I think 11. It was a bit late. But that was still like very Americanized Kuwait. And then now it's a bit more Japanese, because I think the American quality of cars and vehicles just really, really deteriorated over the years, like from 2010 onwards. I don't know, because I was in the States, but I've heard from my father that he never wants to buy an American car again because, they're not the same. And he switched to a Japanese car. Japanese cars are great. Like they're efficient, they're cheaper, and they're easy to fix, and they would last you forever. So everyone now is just obsessed with Toyotas and Hondas in the region of the world. But in the US, it's like they're going to the same path. They're doing literally the same thing that the Middle East has been doing for a long time. And what I'm seeing now is that you cannot even dress the way you want. Like, would this be counted? Like, let's say I'm a cis woman and I wear this shirt. Hmm. Would this be counted as cross dressing? Would it not be counted as cross dressing? I don't know. Like, it's like it's so vague. In Kuwait, I did get in trouble because when I was a teen, when I was like 12 or 11, I was wearing skinny jeans everywhere and I had my hair straightened and I looked like a lesbian or a Karen. So with this, I did get some trouble in high school and like team members from my club when I did sports. I was pretty much treated like the girl, and that was just caused me a lot of traumas, and we're still figuring this part out of life. Um, but it was still like a very bad system because the law did not really say anything. The law bans being homosexual, and it's illegal, and you'll go to jail for it. And then if you're trans, you're just another homosexual with extra layers. So it's like, if you look at it from the perspective of the United States right now, it's like, oh, Kuwait has no, problem with trans women. It's like, not on paper, but it's still messed up. And the U.S. is going the same direction. Like, you have now laws that are saying, oh, we don't care about adult trans women. We just care about the children. And we care about women, cis women in bathrooms. I'm like, okay. And now you're banning trans people from going to bathrooms. And literally in Texas, you have biological men bathroom and biological women. And there's like all, right? And it's weird because I've seen a couple people, like trans women, go into men's bathrooms and the men are just flabbergasted. Like, what are you doing here? And they're looking, it's like, this is the right bathroom? And it's like, what happened to you? I could tell all the time, And it's just like a bunch of crap because all they want is they want you to stop using the women's bathroom so that you start using the men's bathroom. So they start harassing you in the men's bathroom, and then they say, this is the men's bathroom. You cannot be wearing women things because we're men here. We don't want women things here. And then if you're going to be whatever, you have to dress up like a man, and then you have to look like a man, and then you have to use whatever facilities only if you look and dress like a man or whatever. And it's like, oh, if you don't want to, you don't have to. It's like, so I cannot use the women's bathroom. I cannot use the men's bathroom. There was a guy, I think his name is Zach, gay guy in the United States, super cute, a lot of energy, love his energy, and he's a cheerleader. He was yelled at, the video went viral, he was yelled at in the men's bathroom because he was wearing tight clothes, pink on pink, wearing makeup. Two guys came and literally told him, what are you doing here? You cannot use this bathroom. And he's like, I'm not even trans, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, but you're wearing makeup, and he's looking at him up and down. Like, the guy who's harassing him thinks he's cute, and he's like, I don't like this because I came here to pee, and you're distracting me with your beauty, and we're not gonna allow this. But also, I'm not gonna allow you using the women's bathroom as well. So, this is a way of saying we're gonna eliminate you, but we're not gonna put it on paper because we're nice and we're not that mean. But so far in Spain, it's going in a similar direction. We just had a beating of trans women a couple of weeks ago, and religion is a big thing, and you're having like this. Spain is Christian, and Spain is whatever, and many people do not agree with this, but still, like, Christianity is a big thing. And then it's like, what kind of Christianity are we talking about? And they're like, yeah, well, like, we have to be part of us Christians because if you're an African from Nigeria, because we have a lot of Nigerian immigrants here, and they were a Christian, it's not the same. Just like the United States in the 60s. They did not hate the blacks because they're Muslims. Black people were Christian. That still caused a problem. They're like, freedom, freedom, freedom. We're fighting for our freedom. We're fighting to protect our children in school. We don't want the blacks to be here because we want our freedom. And that's the same argument. It's like, it's not even about Christianity. It's not even about religion. It's just bigotry at its core. I despise you, and I don't want you to be in my space. I don't want to see people like you. I don't want my children to know you exist. I want you to exist in a different realm if I could choose, in a different country, but because I cannot choose, I will ban you in the places that I go to. And that's what's happening. So beware. It's going really, really, really backwards in the world right now. And I think um, we just need to walk outside. So I get pretty and I'm just going to be walking outside, showing myself to the world. And my presence will be kind of the reminder that, yes, I exist. Yes, I'm here. Yes, I work. Suck on it because you don't want me to work. You want me to suffer so that when I suffer, I cannot get money and I cannot get hired. If I cannot get hired, I'm gonna, switch to drugs or prostitution, and then you're gonna call all trans people prostitutes and just bad people because you made them have no other choice. And it's just ridiculous how people do not even see this in the right wing politics because they don't care. They literally tell you, we don't care. They think we're all mentally ill if we do not agree with them. That's just how it is. So beware and support your trans babies here and there. Leave a comment and tell me how it is where you're living. I have a friend in California and she's telling me, well, it's fine. We're not seeing a lot of weird things, but she never leaves her apartment. She's like literally living at home and she goes to her mom's house like 5 minutes away. And it's just like, yeah, you cannot talk about it because you don't even leave your house. You don't even know. But with the gas being $5 a gallon, yeah, good luck. I hope you all who voted for Trump suffer slowly and for a very long time for what he's done. And you have to realize how your hatred and your just bigotry, with no backed up scientific reasoning, is literally causing everyone to suffer, including yourself. And yeah, your God, if you believe in God, obviously, if you're right wing, if you believe in God, your God is watching you. This is what your God told you. And they know what you have inside your heart. It's not even what you do, what you pretend you're doing. Because I studied religion. And if you believe in this and you're still doing stuff like this, I really hope there is a hell. I really hope there is a hell. Because all of you will be there. I'm probably going to go to heaven. Because I don't bother anyone. I help people. I talk to people. I don't care about gender. I don't care about money. I'm living the Jesus lifestyle. Okay, gotta go.